Hey guys, how you doing? jpsarrireviews here. Now, as I mentioned in my previous review of Wake Island for Battlefield 5, I gotta be honest, I'm still kind of struggling with the game because of update 5.2. So I'm really looking forward to update 6.2 this week, and in preparation for that, I want to review Solomon Island, which was the last map that was introduced in the game. So I want to talk to you today about the things I like, the things I don't like, and the things that you need to watch out. So stay tuned. Dig good. First and foremost, we gotta point this out. This is a gorgeous jungle map. I love the fact that if you have a lot of foliage, you have trees, you have buildings, you have even rain, and you have the rain effect. You can even see the mist after the rain is gone. It's just a lot of things that they have put into this game. It's such a gorgeous experience. So that's the first thing that I would say is the best thing in this game. Another great aspect of this game is that the foliage gives a lot of cover. Of course, you're in the middle of a jungle, so there's a lot of vegetation, there's a lot of trees, there's waterfalls, there's caves, there's all sort of things where you can hide, you can be sneaky. And if you like that type of environment, you're more, I would say not less frontal, but you love the environments of battlefields, that you are actually fighting a war, a jungle war, this is definitely one that is going to give you that vibe. Now, when this map was released, we were also given new weapons. Some of them you have to unlock, but each weapon is very different and is very unique. The first weapon that was given was the M2 Carabin, and this one can do auto and single shot, and it does take a little bit of time to get used to it because it does have a kick. But once you get the hang of it, it's a great weapon with a scope and a control burst. So you have to really learn not to really only use or just release the entire magazine. Sometimes you have to do a couple of shots at a time, and that way you will be more effective. We were also given the Model 37 shotgun. This one has high damage, awesome hip fire, but it does have poor accuracy and control. Now, to me, I wouldn't say that I'm too crazy about this one. Yes, it does have a longer range in comparison to other shotguns, but in my opinion, it's not as good. Maybe in the jungle environment, if you kind of learn the ins and outs, but there's a lot of open spaces, even in this jungle, where this shotgun is almost useless. I didn't see so much function on it. So yes, it is another shotgun, not necessarily one that really is a game changer or gives a lot of value, particularly to these maps. Now, the support class gets a Type 11 LMG, and this is a very interesting gun. It's a very mobile machine gun. It has a good hip fire. It's great for close encounters. So if you want to be a support class and you want to be more in the front lines, definitely this is the type of gun that you're going to use for that purpose. I'm really having fun with this one. I think this is a great addition for the support class. Now, this map introduces two anti-tank weapons that got me really excited. The launch mine and the M1A1 bazooka. Now, the launch mine is awesome. It's a kamikaze anti-tank weapon with an explosive at the end of a stick. It is just a super fun weapon. I really enjoy it. It's very effective, it's strong, and in my opinion, it's a great addition. Now, the M1A1 bazooka is very different than the launch mine because this one is more for distance. It does have an anti-tank rocket with high acceleration and, of course, effective at longer range. So it's the type of weapon that you can use at a distance. It does have some disadvantages. For example, you cannot shoot it with people behind you because you're going to harm them. So it's going to hurt people. So that's, I would say, the only ineffective way of this bazooka. You have to be clear, so you don't really hurt people or even just shoot other weapons or explosives, because then you're gonna get harmed. So that's the only difference. I would say that I have kind of enjoyed for what it is. I wouldn't say that it's better than other anti-tank weapons that we have in the game, but of course this one gives you the distance, something that the other weapons do not have. The bad. Now it's time to talk about the bad. I need to point this out first. When I'm talking about the bad, I'm not necessarily talking about bad things within the game or the map layout. I'm talking about the things that mostly you need to watch out. There are things that you have to learn to deal with. This map is not so good in Team Deathmatch. I did play a couple of sessions on it and I just didn't find it enjoyable at all. And this is because the map is huge. It's a big map with different sections within the map. And even though they shrink the map a little bit, or the section of the map where you're going to do the Team Deathmatch, I still felt that the map was too big for what it was. And it was not really a fun experience. You were running around all over the place trying to find enemies. So it was not really enjoyable. This map works best for Conquest, for Breakthrough, for bigger modes. But beyond that, smaller modes, not so much. You also need to watch out for campers and snipers across the waters. Of course, this is a jungle, so there's a lot of places to hide. So you have to be on your toes, you have to be careful. But there are sections in the map that you're going to have snipers or people that they just across the island, across the river, just shooting at you because it's easier that way for them. And it's something that is going to be very frustrating at times. So that's one thing, that if you're the type of person that doesn't like this type of encounters, when you have to really counteract snipers or people that are just shooting from afar, then you're going to have a hard time. So definitely it's not going to be a mode or a map that you're going to enjoy. Another thing you're going to find very annoying in this map is the amphibious tanks. Because you're surrounded by water. Technically, these are small islands surrounded by rivers. All these rivers give easy access to these tanks to go in and out of cover all the time. So it's definitely one of those that you're going to really have to learn to deal with. It's not as simple. There's not really much ways to defend them. Of course, you have to use the launch mine. You can use your bazooka. You can use other ways, but it's something that you have to kind of learn the ins and outs of it, and be careful and always keep your eyes on the rivers because you're going to find a lot of tanks. Another aspect of this map that you have to keep in mind that it makes it a bit more complicated than other maps or easier maps like Wake Island is the fact of the layout. The layout, it makes it so complicated to defend and to attack. So you have to be very careful in the way you do it. You have to work with your team. And this map, because of that, deserves or needs more precision. So this is not necessarily a map, I would say, where people that are newcomers to the game will thrive. This is more for experienced players, people that have been playing the game for quite a while, people that understand the way Battlefield works, particularly Battlefield 5. When you know the mechanics of the game, this is a game that you can really shine on, but not necessarily means that everyone will do it. So definitely it's going to leave a lot of people frustrated. You cannot come to this map and think the same way you think in Wake Island or Metro. You have to be very, very different, and you have to approach it and understand the way the layout is, the way the enemies attack, and how can you counteract their attack. One aspect that is really annoying in this map, that I think it's worse in comparison to the maps in this Pacific Theater update, is the fact that this one has a lot of bugs. And I would say perhaps the reason behind it is because there is a lot of stuff going on in this map. There is a lot of animation. Of course, there's a lot of foliage. So there's a lot of assets that are invested into this game. But I encountered so many weird bugs, like for example, dying and not being able to be revived and being stuck in the dead animation, or getting stuck between some trees or some rocks and not being able to get out. So I encountered so many weird things here, and it's really, really annoying. It really takes you away from the experience. And when you encounter bugs after bugs, I would say within the same hour, it really takes the joy from it, and sometimes you just want to quit. In conclusion, I would say this: I really enjoyed Solomon Island. It's a good map. It's a very enjoyable experience. It definitely rounds up the Pacific Theater in a good way. It completes that, in my opinion. It's been fun. Yes, it does have some things that are not as good, particularly for those that are not as experienced with the game. They're going to have more of a hard time with it, because there's a duck system here. You have to pretty much duck out of cover to shoot your enemies, and they go back to your cover. So definitely this is more for guerrilla warfare, and a lot of people don't like guerrilla warfare in this type of games. But in my opinion, it adds a different value to the game. The bugs are really annoying. Some of the things are going to be improved, in my opinion, once the weapons get rebalanced again and the TTK gets back to normal. I feel that the map is going to shine, the weapons are going to shine in this map, and we are going to see its true potential. But of course, only time can tell. But now let me know how you feel about it. Are you a fan of Solomon Island? Do you enjoy the map? Let me know in the comments below. So once again, my friends, thanks for watching. I do appreciate your support. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe to this channel, to hit the notification button so you're reminded of the next video. Follow me on social media. Follow me on jpsarrireviews, Born Again TV, Age of Heroes. The links are in the description. And stay tuned for the next video, on which I'm going to review update 6.2. I'm gonna play for a couple of days to see how it goes, and then at the end I will share with you my opinion, and hopefully it's going to be a good one. We'll see. My friends, God bless you. I'll talk to you again. Bye bye.